Harden and Durant, they got to get out there. They got to get their reps in. They got to go because, in the COVID era, those are the only reps you're probably going to get. You got to get out there. You got to get going. Look at that body language right there. I mean, again, his head on his hand. I mean, honestly, like if my kids were Zooming with their teachers like that, we would be like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And they're not, I would love it if my child was paid as handsomely as Kyrie Irving is paid to show up on that Zoom. And that, and I wish there was a fine system of, well, there is a fine system in our house. If they misbehave like that, there's iPad time that's docked.
There you go.
So if I was in charge, Kyrie would have his iPad taken away. No Roblox for Kyrie.
We're still not sure what was going on with him.
No, that's true. No idea.
We have there could have been a family issue.
I understand that, but the questions are what happened. Okay, the questions are what happened, Kyrie, and if I am a Brooklyn Net fan, if I'm in the Brooklyn Nets management, and I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, I want to know an answer. The question was his communication with the team, and the question was, did he break NBA protocols with the party that he was seen on video? Yeah, I did. I mean, for somebody who's talking about how his platform can be used for good to the point where he doesn't even know if basketball is the right thing for him to be doing. Here's a platform to tell people, mask up. This is what, as of 28 minutes ago, the President of the United States is now going to be saying over and over again. And here's an opportunity to use your platform to do such a thing. And I don't quite get it. That he would sit there and just say, I'm out here to talk about the past, a la my buddy Mark McGuire. And again, I think when it's all said and done, this is just stuff, I guess, for us to talk about before tip-off and before these guys start playing basketball at a very high level. I know I wasn't going to have a take, but I'm going to go in the opposite direction and just say I saw Harden and Durant
they look amazing.
Play like it's, the old, like a Western Conference All-Star team.
Yeah.
And like they play together. And I'm assuming Kyrie's going to come in and we'll figure it out. And there'll be a couple times where it's a final possession. It looks a little bit like a hot mess, and we'll figure it out. And who's got the shot and who didn't make it and who can make it and whatever. But when it's all said and done, I think, you'll be looking at your 1 seed going to the playoffs. Your Brooklyn Nets.
There's your take.
I can't help myself. I'm so, I'm like, I wouldn't try. I can't help myself. How do you think? You know what I mean? Like who's gonna get their what's together?
But the desert agrees with you. The Nets have become the favorite to win the East now.
Well, I mean, it's a simple thing to say. You're seeing 3. I mean, honestly, when my kids were trying to figure out how their fantasy team is going, when everybody's got that O for out next to them because of either COVID or somebody got hurt. Honestly, so many stars of the game are out. I mean, Westbrook's out for a month due to a leg injury, and there's a lot of named players that are out.
I think Tatum is finally back tonight.
Is it tonight or this weekend? I mean, Gallinari's been out for Atlanta since Christmas. I mean, there's just some names that you find familiar to the game. I mean, they're not, and obviously all of them are top-notch names, but you're putting it together. Even a 9-year-old when he's hearing Kyrie and Durant and Harden are on the same team. Like, what? Okay, that's a championship team right there. And then good thing for the Knicks, they're winning games because they are an afterthought. I mean, and I grew up, as you know, a New Yorker. Okay, great. This is great. They're a plucky team with Obi Toppin and R.J. Barrett and
Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers is doing well, and Elfrid Payton is, they're playing defense because that's what Thibodeau is all about and all that business. But, when it all comes down to it, that's like Lakers East, Brooklyn, New York. It's Brooklyn, New York, the seat of basketball, not Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
And all I have to say about that, 2 words, and I know that these have been a phrase that's been used a lot in our day and age, but here's 2 words: womp womp. Womp womp.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens.
But for the Knicks to be around 500, I mean, that's
that's great.
Yeah,
that's
huge,
great.
That's a huge win.
Absolutely a huge win.
Yeah,
Problem
huge
is there's a behemoth that's across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
A behemoth. And Durant, the closest he came to the Knicks was them using his photograph in season tickets missives to their fans prior to a free agency period that was supposed to be dynamite. But that's Harden saying, I want to go to Brooklyn, and Kyrie saying, that's my childhood team. And now they're going to all 3 of them be together tonight. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.